Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're cutting a path through an incredibly dense stack of sources.
We really are.
I mean, a collection that doesn't just describe a world, but completely immerses us in it, a planet named Earth.
Right. And we're focused specifically on the city of Nessus and these just strict, brutal hierarchies and the hidden depths of that city.
Our subject is an apprentice, a young man named Severian, and he works in one of the most feared, most despised institutions on the entire planet.
The Order of the Seekers for Truth and Penitence. But, I mean, let's be honest, everyone just knows them by their much more terrifying name, the Torturers.
Exactly. So what we're really trying to do here is analyze his initial world. We're going to map it out from the towering citadel all the way down to this revolutionary underworld of a figure named Vodalus.
And the sheer scale of the sources, it's what makes this so fascinating. We are dealing with a world of immense antiquity. It's almost incomprehensible.
Yeah, history on Earth isn't just a straight line. It feels layered, cyclical, and decay. Decay isn't just something that happens. It's like the fundamental condition of everything.
And the social structure mirrors that perfectly. You have these layers. You've got the elevated optimates, the powerful exultants.
These are the old ruling classes, right? Lineage, privilege, that sort of thing.
Exactly. But then you get this mention of something truly strange, these pale Caucasians who sometimes visit Earth from the farther stars.
And that detail is so important.
It's crucial because it tells you right away this isn't your standard fantasy or, a simple future history. This is operating on a cosmic scale.
It suggests there's a much, much bigger drama playing out.
Right. The struggles inside Nessus might just be a tiny local affair. So we have to look at how all this history, this fragmented mythology, this constant political decay, how it shapes every single moment of daily life, even inside a fortress that's supposed to be secure, like the Citadel.
And at the center of it is Severian, this young man whose internal world is just. It's a mess of contradictions. He's got this deep sense of duty to his order.
But his own curiosity, his own conscience is starting to wake up.
And it clashes violently with the brutality of the profession he was born into. It's a study, really, of whether individual humanity can even survive inside a system that is, by its nature, inhumane.
It absolutely is. And as we start to break down this intricate structure, we want to give you, the learner, a guiding question to hold on to through all this.
What's that?
How does the architecture and the social stratification of the Citadel physically reflect the moral burden that the torturers carry?
Ooh, that's good.
Think about it. The height, the secrecy, the literal descent into darkness that their work involves. What does that structure say about their function in society? Necessary, but reviled.
Okay, I love that. So let's start there. Let's unpack this journey.
Yeah.
Starting with the physical reality of his base of operations, the Citadel itself, and specifically the Madichin Tower.
Home of the torturers, tucked away toward the back of the Citadel on the western side.
And this vertical organization, it's not an accident, is it?
Not at all. It's a meticulously preserved blueprint of the guild's hierarchy and their very strange social status. If you picture this tower, it's organized like a bizarre inverted pyramid of respectability.
Okay, so break that down. Let's start at the bottom. Ground level.
Ground level is their public face, such as it is. You have the master's studies. This is where they meet with justice officers, heads of other guilds.
The official interface. Contracts, warrants, bureaucracy.
That's it. It's the only part of the guild the outside world is really supposed to see. It's clean, it's professional.
And as you move up,
the spaces get more communal, more internal. You get the refectory for eating and assembly, the common room, and then the private cabins for the masters.
and the sources give a really critical detail there. They say the master's quarters are now fewer than they once were.
Yes. It's such a subtle but constant reminder of the decay we were talking about. The guild, and maybe all of Earth, is in a long, slow decline from some former grander era.
Above them, the journeyman's cabins.
And then at the highest functional levels, you find the apprentice's dormitory and classroom.
So the trainees, the future of the guild, are literally stacked on top of everyone else, almost like they're being kept away from the day-to-day business.
It minimizes their interaction with the city, but the very, very top floor holds a symbolic key to their whole function.
The gun ring.
The gun room, containing the leftover pieces for the Citadel's defense. This is so important. Despite being hated, they're partly responsible for the Citadel's security.
They're indispensable military defense and, at the same time, moral outcasts.
The pariahs who literally hold the line if the fortress is attacked. A walking contradiction.
But all of this, This height, this defensive posture, it contrasts so violently with where the real work happens.
Which is always underground. A massive inversion of power and respectability. The higher levels handle the paperwork of justice, but the lower levels, they enforce the pain.
And just underground is maybe the most fascinating architectural detail of all, the examination room.
The sources tell us this room is located in what was the propulsion chamber of the original structure.
We have to stop there. I mean, that is a massive clue.
It's a world-breaking piece of information. It implies the Citadel isn't just an old stone fortress.
No, it's the ruin of something else. Some gigantic, forgotten, maybe even alien technology. A crashed machine. A starship.
And the torturers, the moral pariahs of this society, are literally working in the dead, inert engine of a forgotten civilization. The whole story is grounded in this theme of profound ruin from the very first description of their workplace.
Below that, you have the oubliette.
A labyrinth, 3 usable levels, a central stairwell. But you'd expect it to be, Gothic and filthy.
But it's not. The sources say the cells are plain, dry, and clean. Fixed bed, chair, table. That's it.
Which makes the cruelty feel so much colder. It's not barbaric rage. It's institutional, efficient. It's a procedure.
And the lighting. The lighting reflects this deep antiquity, this decay.
Ancient lights, said to burn forever.
But in the very same breath, the source says some of them have already gone out.
Exactly. Even something meant to be immortal, perpetual energy itself is failing on Earth. The past is literally blinking out, one light at a time.
And this is the environment that shapes Severian's apprenticeship. It starts easy enough.
Running errands, basically. But the duties grow greater and greater as one comes to manhood.
And these errands are crucial for his worldview. He goes out into the wider citadel, to the Barbican where he sees the military apprentices.
With their gleaming, gilded cuirasses, it's a world away from his own gear.
Then he goes to the bear tower.
Right, where boys his age are handling these wonderful fighting animals, mastiffs with heads as big as lions, and these diatrymae.
Giant, flightless birds, taller than a man, with beaks sheathed in steel. He sees this glamorous, dangerous side of the citadel that he's completely cut off from.
And, of course, there's his uniform, the habit of fuligen.
We have to talk about fuligen. It's so much more than just a color. It's a philosophical statement.
It is. It's a legendary material, said to be darker than any natural color because it absorbs light. It has the property of drawing all light to itself.
So the person wearing it looks like a hole in reality.
A perfect physical metaphor for the guild. They are the necessary darkness, absorbing all the societal sin and fear, standing apart from the light and respectability of the normal world.
And yet, even though they perform this necessary function, dispensing the autarch's justice, they're universally hated.
He learns that almost right away.
Yeah.
His order is hated and despised even by those, indeed most of all, by those who make use of its services.
And that hatred is a paradox, isn't it? It's also their protection.
Absolutely. The people in the tenements might throw slops or shout curses, but as he says, no real violence was done to us.
Because the hatred is mixed with such a deep, visceral fear of what they can do, it creates this protective, isolating barrier around them.
Precisely. They're the perfect scapegoat. They draw all the public anger away from the actual powers, the autarch, the exultants, the military, and they maintain social stability through terror.
So the architecture of isolation, the tower, is matched by the clothing of isolation, the fuligen.
And that deep, isolating routine gets absolutely shattered when Severian is drawn outside the tower and stumbles directly into the path of Vodalus, the revolutionary.
The transition from the clinical routine of the oubliette to the chaos and mystery of the necropolis is just, it's so dramatic.
It's a moment of fatal chance. It happens in the necropolis, which, like everything else, is a map of the social hierarchy, even in death. He's near a fresh, open grave, and the scene is immediately more than just grave robbing. It feels magical. Ancient.
So describe this crew Vodalus has with him.
You have Vodalus himself, who is slender and charismatic. Then there's Thea, the woman who came to share risks, and a third man, a heavy guy who is surprisingly agile.
He disappears into the grave, more agilely than I would have thought possible.
Right. It suggests they're experienced in this, maybe in something more arcane than just digging.
And then the retrieval?
They pull out the corpse of a woman.
Yeah.
Livid, dark hair, pale gown. But what elevates the moment is the lighting. The fog parts, and a single beam of green moonlight falls on the scene.
Green moonlight. On Earth, where the sun and stars are dim and dying, this suggests powerful, maybe non-terrestrial or, deep historical energies are at play. It feels like a ritual.
And then chaos, combat.
Hmm?
Vodalus is skilled. He's got this narrow, bright blade. Thea has a shining pistol.
A pistol. Another piece of decaying high-tech.
Exactly. And the fight is brutal. Vodalus is losing, wrestled to the edge of the grave. He manages to get a knife free and drives it into his attacker's throat.
And this is the moment. Seeing the revolutionary leader about to die, Severian makes this impulsive, defining choice.
He doesn't even draw his own blade. He just reacts, grabs the helve of the axe that's about to strike Vodalus, and pulls it away.
A complete, reflexive act of alliance. He saves the life of the very person his guild exists to destroy. It's the point of no return.
And when Vodalus questions him, his answer reveals this profound, contradictory identity.
I am a torturer.
I am a Vodalarius, one of the thousands of Vodalani of whose existence you are unaware. He's claiming membership in both factions at once. His loyalty is split before his journey has even really begun.
And the reward Vodalus gives him, the gold Chrysos coin.
His first piece of gold. He describes it with such reverence. The obverse has this crowned, silent woman's face. Neither young nor old, but silent and perfect.
But the reverse is the real key.
The reverse is the insight. It's a flying ship. And Severian realizes that the design perfectly matches the blazon over the door of his own secret mausoleum, a forgotten burial vault he found in the necropolis.
So this isn't a random coin.
Not at all. It links Vodalus, the revolutionary, directly to Severian's personal ancient destiny. It suggests his involvement isn't just a political choice, it's fated. Part of an ancient recurring struggle.
So moving from these clandestine encounters, we shift to a near-death experience that further emphasizes this blurring line between life and death and other realities on Earth.
Right, and it happens back in a place of disobedience. The apprentices go swimming in the Goyle River,
Which winds through Nessus like a great weary snake.
It's a place of death. They go past the Iron Gate, where bodies for the potter's field are taken out. The whole area smells of decay.
And it's during one of these forbidden trips that Severian has this terrifying near drowning.
It's profound. He dives down under these plant pads and gets caught in a black web of roots. Totally immobilized. He describes fighting the urge to breathe, feeling his strength just go. He knows he's dying.
And this is where the barrier between life and death just seems to dissolve.
Completely. As he's drowning, he hears this loud, high-pitched, very unpleasant ringing in his ears.
And he recognizes the sound.
Which is the astonishing part. He identifies it as Master Malrubius, a master who died years ago drumming on a bulkhead with a spoon to wake the apprentices.
So a memory, a sound from a dead man, crashes into his dying mind. Time and reality just collapse.
It's concrete proof that the world of the living and the world of the dead are layered on top of each other, not separate.
And the vision gets deeper.
The darkness closes in, and then out of that dark, cold water emerges the face of an immense, untroubled woman.
As immense as the green face of the moon.
There's that green light again connecting back to the Vodalus scene. And her hands, each as long as the coffins, they grab him, pull him up, and just fling him away from the roots.
He hits the bottom, bursts through the surface, and he's alive.
But he's changed. He's revived by his friends, but he sees one of their eyes multiplied like a kaleidoscope. And despite the heat of the day, he is profoundly, deeply cold.
That lingering physical coldness is the key, isn't it?
I think so. It suggests a piece of him is still tethered to that cold, unseen depth, that other reality he touched. The event just confirms the world's permeability. Death, or near death, gives you a glimpse behind the curtain.
And this theme of suffering in reality is graphically intensified when we move back inside the Medichin Tower, back to the brutal day-to-day work of the Guild.
Right, which all culminates in the case of the Chatelaine Thecla.
But first, we need to set the context of that reality. The sources don't shy away from the details. They describe the full boot.
The careful clinical removal of skin and muscle between the knee and toes, but keeping the major veins intact. It's a specialized art designed for maximum prolonged agony while keeping the person alive.
Which brings up that contradiction you mentioned. If they're capable of that, why is their own discipline called the kindness of the torturers?
It's about context. Their cruelty is for the work of the state. For their own apprentices, a simple beating is enough. It's kindness by comparison. And it's this environment that defines Severian's relationship with Thecla.
She's a high-status prisoner, an exultant, a concubine of the autarch.
Which is why her cell is different. A carpet, a silver reflector for her candle. It shows deference.
And Severian is drawn to her, not just physically, but intellectually. He brings her books from the library.
And her resistance isn't physical, it's intellectual. She talks about founding a new sect based on her experience in the oubliette.
And her core teaching is radical, that the mind is extinguished in death, completely, permanently.
But the genius of her philosophy is how she plans to found it, on contradiction. She tells Severian she'll cite examples of deities who are masters of all universes, yet require grandmothers to defend them from chickens.
It's this profoundly sophisticated theological argument coming from a torture cell.
She's saying you can't found a theology on nothing. The contradiction itself, the absurdity of it, becomes the undeniable foundation because pure logic fails to capture the nature of reality or faith. It's brilliant.
It's from Thecla, too, that he learns the truth about the autarch's location.
He's not in the Citadel's great keep. That suite's been empty for 100 years. He's in the invisible house absolute, north of the city, beyond the Great Wall.
And Thecla claims many of the elites in the house absolute either deny the oubliette exists or are genuinely unaware of it.
It's the willful blindness of the ruling class. The torturers are indispensable, but completely ignored by the very people they protect.
And then Master Gerlos, the head torturer, brings up this strange detail about kybits.
Shadow women. Common girls hired because they resemble the chatelaines to stand in for them at events, or, as Gerlos crudely puts it, to lie down for them.
And he warns Severian directly. He notes a rumor that Thecla is pregnant, and that it would be no ordinary one. He tells him to stay away.
Which highlights Thecla's political importance. She's not just a woman, she's a potential piece in the game of the autarch's succession.
The climax of this whole relationship is when Severian finds the official order for Thecla's excruciation, and he has to participate.
The torture is done with an ancient engine of the tower, powered by lightning, sparks as blue as burning brandy.
And her scream. Severian says it was the worst, though not the loudest. It seemed to go on and on like the shrieking of a cartwheel.
And when she's returned to her cell, she recognizes his pain, his guilt. She knows he's her last friend.
And his ultimate betrayal of his guild is an act of mercy.
Which is the final irony. He realizes in that moment that he loves the guild most deeply, just as he's about to lose it forever. He gives Thecla his sword, Terminus Est, and lets her take her own life.
He sees it as an act of love, to spare her more agony.
And that single oath-breaking act sets him on the path to exile. It confirms his moral separation from the guild's duty.
But before the masters deal with that betrayal, his journey takes him to the Citadel's hidden archives, the Pinacothecan.
The Arch Galleries. He goes to meet the archivist, Master Olton. And this detour into ancient knowledge is essential for grounding Severian's internal world.
His path takes him through these vast halls filled with dark, enigmatic paintings, so smoke-grimed you can barely see them.
It's a symbol of the lost, corrupted knowledge of the past, but he focuses on one image that's clear.
An armored figure in a desolate landscape, gold visor helmet reflecting only the desert and nothing more.
A perfect, chilling symbol of isolation and death, the vast, solitary world that's waiting for him outside.
And then he reaches Olton's domain, the library, which is immense. It physically extends beyond the Citadel walls.
And the books themselves are exotic, made of jade, ivory, shell, desiccated leaves. And then there's the crystal cube.
No larger than the ball of your thumb,
Yeah.
but it contains more books than the entire physical library combined.
It's another one of those quiet reminders that Earth has technology far beyond its current understanding. Knowledge compressed, forgotten, but still there.
And the keeper of all this, Master Olton, is blind.
The tragic irony. He who had given all books into my keeping made me blind. The one who knows the most can't see the world he's trying to preserve.
Olton explains the library's recruitment process, how they wait for a solitary child to wander in and find the Book of Gold.
And then the librarians approach like vampires or like fairy godparents, destiny arriving in a paradoxical guise, either as a horror or a blessing.
After all this, after Thecla's fate, Severian and Olton have this deep philosophical discussion.
It starts with a morbid question from Severian, from his grave-robbing days. If you eat the hand of a dead person, do you possess part of their life?
Which leads to Olton's theory on life force and resemblance.
He argues that if a face, a personality, can endure through generations, father to son to grandson, and the seed of all of them was in a dram of sticky fluid, then life, the soul, must reside in every part of a person, not just the whole.
And this profoundly challenges Severian's understanding of death and resurrection. It prepares him for the relic he's about to find. If essence survives being scattered, then the boundaries of life and death are meaningless.
And after this, this intellectual awakening, he has to face his masters, Gurlos and Palamon. They give him a choice.
Leave the guild. Seek freedom, the emptiness of the outside world.
But Severian chooses the familiar slavery over that terrifying emptiness. He asks, where would I go? He reaffirms his commitment despite having just fatally betrayed them.
And because he does that, they reveal the guild's final secret.
Which we, the listeners, don't get to hear. But it's said to lie naked in the lap of the Pancreator and confirms Severian's destiny within the guild's ancient sacred pattern.
It suggests the torturers aren't just an execution squad. They're an integral part of Earth's decaying divine order.
This is all sealed by the ceremony of the Lesser Feast, his masking as a journeyman. The ritual itself is this complex piece of theater. There's a collapsing spiked wheel.
Which falls apart when it's touched, showing the old tools are literally failing.
Then the false sword, the beheading of a wax head, and the chrism, the anointing substance, is the blood from that wax head.
With this, our chrism, I anoint you, Severian, our brother forever.
But his destiny immediately takes a punitive turn. His betrayal can't be ignored.
But the masters are political about it. They choose exile to Thrax, the city of windowless rooms, as a less incriminating solution.
Right. Executing him might look suspicious if an inquisitor investigated, so they give him a letter of introduction describing him as highly skilled in our mystery.
And the moment Severian gets this sentence of exile, he's surprisingly elated.
He's glad to go. His feet long for the feel of grass. His love for the guild he's disgraced is now mixed with this profound sense of release. He's become a man in the act of leaving.
So he steps outside the citadel, and he's immediately confronted by the sheer scale of Nessus. He passes the city wall.
A towering structure of black metal so high that birds rarely fly over it.
That black wall, it echoes the philogen of his habit.
It does, and he's immediately questioned by the guards, the peltasts, about his clothes. The philogen is a mark of terror and isolation out here.
His first real encounters introduce a new cast. Dr. Talos and the giant Baldanders at the Inn of Lost Loves.
Talos is small, fox-like, quick-witted, theatrical.
And Baldanders is his perfect inverse. A huge giant whose strength is matched only by his slow, dull demeanor. His voice is like the rolling of heavy stones.
A perfectly balanced contradiction, a traveling show trying to earn money to rebuild their home.
And then Dorcas arrives.
The mud-covered, vacant-faced girl who mysteriously saved him earlier, and she has this profound memory loss.
Just fragmented visions. Sitting by a window, trays and boxes and a rood.
Which suggests either intense trauma or, given where she appeared near the river in the necropolis, maybe she's one of the recently departed, revived by the water's strange power. Another blurring of life and death.
The plot twists again at a rag shop. He meets Agilus and his twin sister Agia.
And Agia is revealed to be the Septentrion, the duelist who challenged him, and the same woman who sent him that cryptic warning note.
The woman with you has been here before. Do not trust her.
The fact that she warned him shows she has some kind of supernatural knowledge or premonitions. This isn't a rational world of simple chance.
The duel is set for the sanguinary field near the wall. The weapon is the Avern.
A flower of dissolution. Its leaves are poisoned daggers that cause instant death. It's cruel theatricality.
Severian, still in his philogen, is told to fight naked, but is allowed to keep his coat. Agia makes sure everyone knows who he is.
She shouts it to the crowds. Severian of the torturers!
And during the fight, he's struck by the poisoned leaf, and nothing happens.
He doesn't die. The Septentrion is shouting, he should be dead! His survival is irregular, suggesting he's protected, or maybe already operates outside the normal laws of Earthian biology.
And Dorcas, the vacant girl, is the one who intervenes.
She hits the Avern with Terminus Est still in its sheath, and knocks the plant out of the challenger's hand.
After surviving, Severian has to assume the role he was trained for. He becomes the executioner again.
He executes Agilus, the twin who set up the duel. And Agilus's dying words are this dark commentary on Nessus's society.
He says Severian was guilty of entrapment.
For carrying an heirloom, the priceless sword, that was worth a villa, and then refusing to sell it. In a world where everything has a price, refusing to sell is a kind of treason.
And right after this grim act, the real catalyst of his journey is discovered.
He's cleaning himself and finds a cold, celestine flashing object in his belt pouch, his saber-tash, the claw of the Conciliator.
Dorcas figures it out immediately. Agia must have put it there.
When they crash into the Cathedral of the Pellerines, the priestesses who travel with the relic, Agia hid it on him to avoid being searched, assuming he'd die in the duel and she could just get it from his corpse.
And Dorcas notes the claw's strange warmth, despite its appearance. proof it's not just a gem. It feels alive.
And the sources list its legendary powers. It can forgive injuries, raises the dead, draws new races of beings from the soil, purifies lust, and so on. It's a relic of world-altering power.
And its reality is confirmed almost immediately in this spectacular vision.
While they're looking at it, they see an enormous crimson-lit building with towers and buttresses hanging over the city like a flying mountain.
And then it just vanishes like a cascade of sparks.
This overwhelming, impossible vision forces Severian to go back to what he learned from Thecla's Book of Myths. He offers Dorcas a framework for understanding it, the three meanings.
First, the practical meaning, the thing the plowman sees.
Right. A cow is a cow. Simple surface reality. The basic facts.
Second is the reflection, interconnectedness, the soothsayer's meaning.
Where the cow grazing means something about the future, the stars, the king. It's the web of consequence.
And third, and most important, the transubstantial meaning.
The highest level. It says that all objects express the pancreator's will, the higher reality, because they all come from that divine source. The everyday object is an expression of divine intelligence.
So the implication is, the vision of the flying building wasn't a sign itself.
But a vivid example of that third, transubstantial meaning made visible. It reveals the higher reality hidden behind the ordinary, decaying world. The claw doesn't just grant power, it reveals truth.
So, we leave Severian and Dorcas on the road. He's a masked journeyman now, carrying the burden of his exile and the weight of this sacred relic.
And he's with this strange company, Dr. Talos, Baldanders, others, heading north to Thrax, the city of windowless rooms.
His journey has been a rapid, violent evolution. He's shed the citadel, been forced to be an executioner in the real world, and now he's carrying this world-changing object in his pouch.
He's lost one family, the Guild, which he betrayed but still loves, and found this other, much more tenuous one with Dorcas and Talos' company.
And his path forward is all about choice. Does he return the claw to the Pellerines, or does he carry it with him to Thrax, following this destiny that now seems woven into the very fabric of Earth?
The contrast is huge. The claustrophobia of the citadel is gone, replaced by the open road. He was carrying an oath-breaking secret about Thecla's death. Now he's carrying a world-changing secret in the claw. His moral burden has metastasized into a cosmic one.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to carry on your own journey, deep diver. Severian confessed that his greatest love was for the guild he betrayed. Given that emotional complexity and the immense power of the claw, is his true purpose now to destroy or to restore the ancient, decaying world of Earth?
Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.